Hey, welcome to Orange Perspective. So glad you could join us again. First few vlogs seem to go pretty well. A lot of comments and good positive feedback. Let me remind you of a couple things. If you want to comment, which we encourage you to do so, please keep your comments in the vlog itself. At the bottom of this vlog, you'll see a place to do that. You can put your name and all those things, or you can just put anonymous. Doesn't really matter. But in order to kind of foster a discussion within the vlog, that would be someplace that everyone could see and interact with in the future as we talk about different things. The second thing I want to remind you about is anyone can sign up for this vlog. Now that we're sending it through the website itself, you can sign up at the bottom. So if you have assistant manager, shift leads, anybody on your staff that want to subscribe, they can subscribe at the bottom. Today I wanted to give you tell you a little bit about this article that I've read recently in a Harvard Business Review. It's called The Neuroscience of Trust. The subtitle is Management Behaviors That Foster Employee Engagement. Let me give you a quote from it. Initially, he says, "In my research, I found that building a culture of trust is what makes a meaningful difference. Employees in high-trust organizations are," and he lists several things, "more productive." This is a high-trust organization. They have more energy at work. They collaborate better with their colleagues, and they stay with their employers longer than people working at a low-trusting company. So there's more retention. The rest of the article goes through what he describes as how to manage for trust, or how to build trust, a culture of trust on your team. So I want to give you some of these pointers that he gives us in this article. The first one is recognize excellence. He says that recognition has the largest effect on trust when it occurs immediately after a goal has been met, when it comes from peers, and when it's tangible, unexpected, personal, and public. Let me key in on the fact of what he says about recognizing excellence. I think the key to people feeling like they really enjoy their job is having a sense that they feel wanted and that they're important. This comes a lot of different ways, but really just recognizing someone for doing what they did, finding them doing something well and affirming them, telling them that they've done a good job. It goes a really far way. I think a lot of times what we do is it's easy to find the things that are wrong, and so we tell them where they can get better or correct them. But we need to do that less, and we need to bring affirmation and positive encouragement, find them doing something that is spectacular, and reward them for that just verbally. Giving them things is a way to affirm them as well, but even just verbally, constantly affirming them, telling them that they've done a good job, and being specific about it. Having goals and hitting those goals also is a way that people feel very encouraged and builds a culture of trust. The second thing that he says is induce challenge stress. Leaders should check in frequently to assess progress and adjust goals that are too easy or out of reach. What's interesting about this is that if you think about games and you think about athletics, you think about a lot of different scenarios, stress actually enhances our experience of things. And as long as we feel like we can control the outcome, then it kind of heightens the sense of accomplishment. And so this is what he's saying is make sure that you're challenging your team. Make sure that they feel challenged. Make sure they're hitting their goals, but they want to feel like they're challenged at work. The third thing he says is give people discretion in how they do their work. In other words, give them some license to be creative. Let them not just be told what to do. Don't give them just a list of things, but bring them along. Let them be creative in the way that they tackle the problem. So you might say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z finished, and this is the parameters of the project that you're working on. But allow them to be creative in how they solve that and how they finish that project in the way that is going to be in line with their own personality and their own skill set. Another point that he makes is that you should share information broadly. One of the things that causes the most disunity in a culture, or it can cause negativity, is a lack of communication. And uncertainty also breeds a lack of trust within your organization. So he says, share information. If you know things that are going on, just like this vlog, you're going to find out things. You're in management, you're in leadership. Share information with the people that are on your team. Let them know what's going on. Let them be excited about things. Also, he says, intentionally build relationships. He says, managers who express interest in and concern for team members' success and personal well-being outperform others in the quality and quantity of their work. One of the things that we always try to do is blend all of life in the culture that we try to create within all of our businesses, all of our organization. And that means that we don't see a huge distinction between work and life and play, and we believe that all of those can come together, just like our values. Do good, be better, and have fun. I mean, we truly believe that all of those things go together. You don't have to hate your job. And one of the ways that you won't hate your job is if you come to work and you feel cared for, you feel valued, and it's okay to ask them, hey, how are things going? If you know that they've had a hard time with things at home, or they've had some things happen, or just the life itself, hey, how are you doing in X, Y, and Z? Then ask them about them and be deliberate about that. The next thing he says is facilitate whole person growth. And this is really important to us because as we try to develop everyone, what we don't want to do is develop them just so that they are good employees for Breakout or for Vinaigrette or for Orange Leaf. We want them to feel valued in a way that we're developing them so that they are better as a person, so that their whole person is being developed. So if they're with us for years and years, that's great, and obviously it's going to help us and our brands, but more than that, it's going to help them feel like they are being valued as a person, and they can grow in their own career path and grow in their own skill set. The last thing he points out is to show vulnerability. I think this is probably one of the most difficult things to do as a leader. When you show vulnerability, it seems like, that I might show weakness, and that might seem bad. But showing vulnerability is a way to really show strong leadership qualities. He says leaders in high-trust workplaces ask for help from colleagues instead of just telling them to do things. So bring them in. So instead of saying, hey, I've got this project, this is how it's got to be done, you've got to do it this way, in the way that I want you to do it, bring them in, say, hey, we've got this problem, we need to solve it together, I need your input, you work this room, or you work this part of the kitchen, and I need help understanding what are customers saying, or what's going on in this that I don't understand. Can you shed light on this? Do you have any ideas? I find that a lot of times we don't have the best ideas, but our team does, because they're dealing with customers, and they're doing these things day in and day out, over and over and over again, and they have really good ideas, and we have phenomenal people that work with us. And so we should bring them in, and we should allow them to be a part of what we're doing, and be okay with saying, hey, this isn't my strong suit over here. I know I'm the leader, I know I'm the manager, but I'm not strong over here, you are. And that shouldn't feel to you like you are not being strong, you're not being a leader. That shows them that you care, and you're going to have people follow you and want to do really great things for you in the path that you're leading them when you're casting that kind of vision. So anyway, that's an article that I think if you haven't read, you should look up and read if you have access to. But if not, those are some pointers for you as you think about leadership. Until next time.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just hurt me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
This is going on the vlog.
Wait, who else?
Hey guys, say one thing that you want everyone to know. Okay, you're done. You're done.
Keep it going.
You're done. Oh my god.
Thomas has the best sense of humor of all of us. South America is east of North America.
Team 2.
Learned a lot about India yesterday.
You're great.
Leave the pants, take the cardigan. America.
Evan.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Push
This is
me,
everyone.
and then just hurt me. Till
Oh, wait,
I
who?
get
this guy.
my
Oh wait,
satisfaction.
one thing you want to say to everyone.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Log number 3.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just hurt me, till I can get my